Peace. Good morning, family. It's Mr. R2 here. Starting a different type of platform, going a little bit in a different direction, but yet everything is still coming from the same place and coming from the same space. So I've been in this workshop for it's day 5. So I'm doing a little bit of continued learning for me. But one of the things that I'm learning is consistency is actually currency. So for me, as well as for you, when we develop our plan or when we develop our goals, when we write those goals down, when we actually sit down and strategically create what we want our next paths to be, one thing that I definitely want you to understand is you have to be consistent with it. Now, for me, it's like all week my camera was not trying to do what it was supposed to do. Every morning I try to get on, it just wasn't working. But I know in order for me to get it right, I have to be consistent at working on it. I have to be consistent at trying it. I have to try new things and figure out things, troubleshoot in so many ways and so many different, play into so many different scenarios. But I know it's not just me. Have you ever tried to work on a plan or work in a business or try to bring something new and it wasn't working out for you? Quitting was never an option. Quitting for me is never an option. And I don't want you to take that option of quitting. Now, you can do something like in the military, we call it a tactical pause. A tactical pause is you actually taking a break, analyzing the situation. And after you analyze the situation, you figure out which and what is the best course of action that you're going to take once you begin to take action on that goal or that setting again. So what have you tried that haven't worked for you? Put that in the comment section, because the things that you've tried that has not worked for you as of yet, maybe you need to take a step back and write those things down and look at it from an outside perspective. Because when you really look at it from an outside perspective, you may see it differently than what it was when you originally started. And I think that's going to allow you to begin to create new measures or create new performance measures that is going to possibly help you make it right, help you get it right. Now, as you can see, the camera is working. So obviously I got something right, but I got frustrated. I'm not going to lie. I got frustrated a little bit. But in my frustrations, I knew that it wasn't the end state. And in my frustrations, I was in an emotional state, but I knew my emotions, in order for my emotions to not get the best of me, I had to take a step back and I had to write it out. Okay, let me try it out. Let me try this wire. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me refresh the computer and all this other stuff. But obviously it did work, but I knew I had to be consistent at it. I had to redevelop what my plan of action was in order to get it done. So one of the things that I've learned, and I want to tell you about it too. So in this workshop that I'm in right now, one of the things that he said, and I think it was so dope, and I wrote it down, and it really hit home for me, and I'm sure it will definitely hit home for you too. So one of the things that he said was, you can't get more time, but you can manage the time that you have. You can't get more time. You can't create more time for you because there is still 24 hours in a day. When I wake up, there's still 24 hours in a day. When you wake up, there's still 24 hours in a day. When everyone wakes up, there is still 24 hours in that day. But what do we do with the time that we have? Are we managing that time properly? Are we executing within that time properly? Have we set goals for ourselves in that time that we need to manage that time properly? To me, wasting of time is not really a waste of time because we all have 24 hours, but we have yet to sometimes effectively use the time that we're managing. So to me, it's really like the ineffective way or inefficient way of using time. And when you are inefficiently using your time, you're not managing your time properly because you still have 24 hours in that day. I think when we begin to manage our time, we actually then begin to manage our expectations of what we want to do in those particular time slots or time hacks or whatever it is that you create. Developing a timeline is really going to help you out. Developing a timeline is going to allow you to manage the time that you have, and also allow you to manage those expectations of what you want during that time. And there was another thing that I learned that he said is, don't get stuck. Don't get so stuck in your ways that you can't try new stuff. Now, for me, I can be stubborn, and I'm sure I'm probably not the only one. There may be someone else that's stubborn out there, but don't get so stuck in your ways that you can't try new stuff. Because the things that you tried that may be new to you, you may have been in a uncomfortable state of mind or in an uncomfortable position. But when you tried this thing, you was like, oh man, it really kicked off an aha moment for you. It's like, oh, it wasn't that bad. But you wasn't open to it in the beginning. But when you opened yourself up to it, you really begin to open yourself up to more possibilities, that trying new things may be something that you need to do in order for you to refresh the who you are, and also in order for you to refresh your goals, in order for you to refresh your vision and the things that you have set out for yourself. So I just wanted to get on and drop some of these things. I'm starting a podcast. It's new for me, but I'm coming out with something different. Because to me, I just want to, sometimes you're going to have to redesign yourself in order for you to change the path. The path is already there. The path has always been there. The path has always been there for you. But what did you do when you identified that path? That path could be your gift. I know plenty of people that say, oh, I don't know what my gift is, or I don't know what my purpose is. But that purpose has always been there. That's something that has always been birthed inside of you. That's your own natural inheritance. Have you actually reached down inside of you and pulled out your inheritance? I mean, inheritance for us, some people may say, oh, my family left me money, or my inheritance is grandma's old Bible or whatever it is. But you know that your natural inheritance is your gift. Your natural inheritance is your purpose. Your natural inheritance is what life has already been set out for you. Just like when it says that with a vision, there is always a provision. That provision is your natural inheritance. That provision is the gift that was always inside of you that you had needed to birth and bring that into its own physical manifestation. So grab a hold of your inheritance and pull it out of you. And I guarantee you, once you pull that inheritance out of you, that natural gift, there's going to be some things that may ease up. And there's going to be some things that you're going to need to let go. Because when you're walking in that inheritance and you're walking in that light, there are some places that you are not supposed to be going anymore. You'll figure it out. You'll know it. And I guarantee you, when you understand that consistency will create currency, when you begin to duplicate the great things that you know that you can do. Y'all be blessed. Drop a message inside the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your take is on consistency as currency. And are you consistent? If you're not consistent, be transparent in the moment and figure out what consistency means to you. And I want to learn that from you. What does consistency mean to you? Drop that in the notes. Peace.